Have you ever felt like you weren't enough? Like no matter how hard you worked, the world still found a way to criticize you? Maybe you're fighting perfectionism or carrying the weight of responsibility you never asked for. If that sounds familiar, then RM, the leader of BTS, has already lived a piece of your story. His journey isn't just about music or fame, it's about a young man wrestling with doubt, failure, and pressure, and turning them into wisdom. Hi, I'm Fatima, and welcome to my channel. Here we'll dive into personal growth, building a rich mindset, believing in yourself, loving yourself, and glowing up, inside and out. This is your space to get inspired, level up your mindset, and start becoming the best version of yourself. So if that's your vibe, hit subscribe and let's grow together. When Kim Namjoon, better known as RM, first entered the world of K-pop training, he was just a teenager with big dreams and heavier fears. Back then, he wasn't the polished leader we see today. He was criticized for his looks, his rapping style, even for choosing the path of an idol instead of a serious musician. People doubted him, and sometimes he doubted himself. He once admitted that during those years, he questioned whether he had made the right choice. Imagine being told you're not good enough every single day, while carrying the responsibility of being the leader of 7 young boys chasing an impossible dream. That pressure could have broken him, but instead, it shaped him. Resilience didn't come naturally, it was built through failure. RM has openly said that failure taught him more than success ever did. Each mistake became a mirror reflecting not just what went wrong, but who he could become if he chose to learn. Think about that for a second. Failure as a teacher, not an enemy. For many of us, failure feels like a dead end. For RM, it became fuel. But here's what makes RM different. He didn't just survive the storm. He built a library inside it. He reads philosophy, he visits art galleries, he walks through museums like they're sacred spaces. Books and art gave him words for feelings he couldn't explain. From Nietzsche's reflections on individuality to modern thinkers who write about love and existence, RM absorbed it all, and then translated those ideas into lyrics that millions could understand. He once said that reading gave him language for his emotions. That's why his music feels like a conversation with your own heart. Being the leader of BTS means being the bridge. On one side, you have 6 members, each with their own dreams, doubts, and personalities. On the other, the world, waiting for perfection. RM had to learn to balance responsibility without losing himself. He doesn't lead by force. He leads by listening. He once described leadership as not standing in front, but standing beside. That humility, combined with his ability to admit mistakes, makes him not just a leader, but a human leader. RM's philosophy isn't about pretending to be confident all the time. It's about acknowledging your flaws and loving yourself anyway. Remember his famous words at the United Nations. No matter who you are, where you're from, your skin color, your gender identity, speak yourself. Find your name and find your voice. Behind that message is a simple truth. Perfection is an illusion. You don't need to erase your scars to be worthy. You need to embrace them. For him, self-love is not a destination but a daily practice. Some days you'll fail, some days you'll fall back into doubt. But as RM says, happiness is not something you have to achieve. You can still feel happy during the process of achieving something. So what can we take from RM's mindset? That failure isn't the opposite of growth, it's the path to it. That books, art, and reflection can heal the parts of us we don't understand. That leadership isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. And that self-love is messy, imperfect, and ongoing, but worth every step. The next time perfectionism whispers in your ear, or self-doubt tells you you're not enough, remember RM's journey. He didn't silence those voices. He lived with them, learned from them, and kept moving forward anyway. So ask yourself today, what's one small step you can take? Not to be perfect, but to be a little more yourself. Because in the end, that's the philosophy RM lives by. And maybe it's the one that will set you free too.